fireworks are in store for us here in Game 2. It's the Falcons going up against the Saints. With that, it's time to hook up with our commentators in the booth as we turn it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
First opened back in 1975, there's a look inside the iconic Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one between the Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
On offense, a guy that you want to have the best eyes on the field are your quarterback, so you can see everything pre-snap, and then, of course, as the play develops. On defense, oftentimes it's the linebacker, and on this play, his eyes took him right to the ball.
Looking for Snead, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
They come out here in the eye. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. They'll get 16 yards there, and it'll give the Falcons a first down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed, and he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Freeman again, a first down carry. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. All right, let's look at the offense. Devontae Freeman, this is a guy that you wanted to talk about, so take it away.
Brandon, have you seen a running back play with such joy as well as such fury? I love the way he runs the football and attacks defenses.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. And now a look at the Saints starting defense.
Paul Kruger's one of the most respected veterans in the game. All he does is make plays.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. It's complete to Fuller. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Smith keeps it on the sneak. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and they're able to convert here on 4th and inches.
Well, this season's going nowhere. No reason not to go for it. And it's a rare success for them as they keep the drive alive.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple, down to the 15-yard line. Paul Kruger there to bring him down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Here's Smith now on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Down here in the red zone, you know your tight end's going to be a favorite target. Couldn't hang on.
And sometimes they just have to get out of their own head because they understand how tight windows are there and how many bodies are there. And sometimes they just overthink it and don't catch the ball.
Gino now to throw. Flush to his right. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So out now comes the field goal unit for the Falcons. And his kick is good. But there is a penalty marker down. They might be forced to try this one again. So they were able to move the ball into the red zone, but they'll wind up coming away with just 3.
Yeah, 32-yarder. That's equal to an extra point nowadays, and those are no problem for an NFL kicker.
And the 8th play on this drive coming up. First down and goal to go from the 7. After the penalty, here's Freeman. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
One of the things that's really difficult for an offense is often identifying how to block a 3-4 defense. Well, when they're coming on a blitz, even more difficult. They're elusive targets and hard to hit.
Breeze to throw on 2nd down. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here, a safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
10 yards still left on 2nd down. Here's Smith. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Freeman, the lone man in the backfield. He's going to get the football. And he's brought down. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Man, wasn't that long ago that the guy playing that spot was an outside linebacker type of a guy. Now, as a defensive end, how about the speed that he used to get into the backfield and make the play?
To throw on 2nd down is Smith. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Cameron Jordan in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. The Saints with an extra defensive back here on 3rd on the field.
Could they blitz?
Throwing now is Geno. Wide open receiver complete. And he caught it up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And a safety the last go-around. That's how we arrived at this 2-0 score. We'll see if they can respond.
Such an oddity, isn't it? See those 2 points go up on the board, knowing
Looks like
that
soccer.
Exactly. And knowing that you did it to give those points up for your team. Now they're just looking to get back out on the field and make up for it.
Going for the deep ball. He's got a man. Complete. And that one results in 35 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now's a play.
Got a man. It's Cooks. Touchdown, New Orleans. Brandon Cooks with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Saints have taken the lead. And it's now a 7-2 ball game. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? And some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
And now a 10th carry for Freeman. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack, and on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
Now Geno. Hard throw, incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
And definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
This one angles out of bounds at a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good. So they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Escaping the pressure right. Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now Geno on first down. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get, because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
And now we're circling here around the 2-minute warning.
This is a setup play, trying to get one last one in before the clock warning.
3rd and long, it's Smith. Finding time. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens.
Here we go. Check.
So after the INT, it's Breeze. He's going to go for a big play now. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Shift together here from the D-line. After the interception, here's Smith. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Trying to get that in the hands of Devontae Freeman that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Play action. It's Smith. He's got time in the pocket. He's going to air one out. It's caught at the 10. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons have retaken the lead. Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And not that much room to operate. So that tells you about his acceleration. We always talk about being able to go from 0 to 60 real fast. Took him less time than that to get to top speed and complete that play.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in it, and let him fling another one.
Eluding the pressure right. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. On 1st down, Breeze. It's caught left side by Cooks. They'll get 32 yards there, and it'll be 1st down, Saints.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Breeze now, flushed out right. It goes underneath to Ingram. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be a 2nd down. And now they're in the hurry-up.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
He was looking for Mark Ingram there, and it's 3rd and 4.
That's a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong, he's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work on a little bit more.
Wait, no kill! Wide, get wide! Check, go back, we got motion, back up.
Again, it's Breeze. Flush to his right. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free. And brings up 4th down. So now on 4th down, Sean Payton's going to turn it over to the field goal unit. This from 42 yards out. And his kick is indeed good. And with that, they'll take a 1-point lead here in the second. So a good kick there, and they finish off the drive with 3.
And that should be the goal for an offense. Finish each drive with points. So that's a nice job there to come away with at least something.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And the Falcons now making their way back out onto the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
Throwing now is Geno. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. To connect on the first down pass play. Now it's 2nd down. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They come up in an offset eye. They go play action here on 1st down. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And now a 1st down following that long gain. Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. So we have reached halftime here in a tight 2-point contest. As we send you over to our headquarters in Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Freeman again. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 1. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL. And a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, They were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
Throwing on third down, Smith. And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter three.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And all the way down to the 5. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 42 yards. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Here's Breeze. Steps away to his left. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and goal.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Breeze going to sneak it. Call it a gain of 2 as they're knocking on the door now. 3rd and goal.
Hey, give them credit. That's a good, solid gain there on the sneak because it all comes together. Enough space, get forward, gain yardage. Well done.
They come out here in the eye. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Drew Brees, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, and the Saints have retaken the lead. And the lead is up to 5. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Smith now to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Freeman, the lone man in the backfield. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Throwing is Smith. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Fresh set of downs here. Now the pitch to Freeman. They find some open field here. Give them 13 on the pickup there. And it'll be first down Atlanta.
I remember playing, and from a safety's perspective, when you saw a toss play and trying to see guys get to the edge and get outside, that was always a tough moment, because where do you go to pick up the ball carrier? If they seal the edge and seal the perimeter, they're going to bounce that outside, and it's a lot longer run, and you've got to make sure your angle is right, because once they get to the edge, they're going to pick up good yardage. Your job now is to make sure they don't go all the way for a touchdown. You have to become an excellent tackler against a lot of bodies out leading a runner. And on this play, the defenders were finally able to rally to the ball after a big pickup of yardage and hurt him out of bounds. This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Now Freeman, he's been busy today. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Give him 8 yards on the play, and they pick up the first. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
And that's why you see so many teams play a 3-4 defense, because that set gives you a lot of flexibility about where to bring pressure from, and it's hard for an offense to pick it up. Left side, right side, up the middle, especially with some really flexible linebackers.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. They come out here in the eye. They'll sneak it with Smith. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
Brandon, to me, that was a surprising call to begin with. 3rd and 2 quarterback sneak. No gain almost seems fitting.
Yeah, 2 yards. That's too much to sneak there, right?
I think so. I think you got to hand it off to someone and try and get some blockers in front.
1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll run it. Freeman. And he'll get nothing out of that one. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the 1st down. And that will force a turnover on downs. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They have to make a few.
And can you believe it? It's a 2nd safety in this ball game. And you don't want to pin this all on the quarterback, even when the pressure's coming. Not easy for them, but that's just something you can't do, is take that sack in the end zone.
No, you can't. But for all defensive line coaches, they're celebrating everywhere. Because what do they tell us in our meetings? It's all about the get-off. Beating the offensive line at the snap of the football.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
Hey, a simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence, not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. The offense certainly looking to score some points, but they also need ball security here late as we get down to the final moments of this one. 2nd and 10, Smith again. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
And leading here late, so a chance for the defense to really close out this game if they can halt the offense. They toss to Freeman. Room here to run. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
That was a good, strong run there. While it won't pick up a first down, it was definitely something needed by that offense. A positive run. They got a good push by their guys up front. Maybe something they can build on as this game continues.
Freeman, the lone man in the backfield. And he'll get it up the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they do.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
As a guy carrying the ball, your eyes are going to direct your feet, and you're hoping they carry you to the open spaces. But it's awfully difficult at times because you have so many things you have to look out for. Where's the line blocking? Where's the traffic coming from?
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. A handoff, Devontae Freeman for a modest gain. Give him 5 down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
So how many practices have we watched over time where the offense works on scoring late in the game and finding a way to win, as we just saw there?
Just saw it right there. Now can they preserve that advantage that they just got? Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. Set to return. This is Brandon Cooks. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. They're down here in a 1-score game. At the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
Back to throw. Thomas has got it, complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find...
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and the return will stop right around the 25. And here now come the Falcons. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still taking it right down Broadway. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you've still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game in this sequence here. Maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. And now it's second down. And on 2nd and 10 now.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Breeze. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Robert Alford. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. 2 timeouts remaining defensively, but that shouldn't make much difference right here.
It really shouldn't, but a lot of coaches look at it similar to baseball with the intentional walk.
Always bringing in other sports.
Always, hey, listen, think about the intentional walk, right? What if one gets past the catcher? What if he uncorks a wild one and now you still have an opportunity? That's why they like to use them all the way through.
They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Charles, in this one, I think the storyline really, the 4th quarter, coming into it neck and neck, but they were able to separate, put their foot on the gas, and get the win.
And since you mentioned neck and neck, I'm going to stay with a little bit of a horse racing theme. It was that close, and then really went into the gallop and finished it strong.
One more horse racing theme.
Go.
I am glad you posted today.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So for the Falcons, their very slim playoff hopes remain as they move to 6 and 7 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Philly to take on the Eagles. Meanwhile, for the Saints, it's just their 3rd loss as they fall now to 10 and 3. And they will be at home next week to take on the New York Giants. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. So long, everybody.